Okay, time to wet myself. It feels so weird to be close to finishing the Dakar. Like it doesn't feel like I've been doing this challenge for long, but I have been doing it for about a month now. Playing pretty much every day. I feel like I'm slowly learning the tracks, but it could be because literally I was doing this, 40 minutes ago. Could be that. I'd like to think I'm getting smarter and actually improving at video game. Much less players in the rain as well, of course. Did I out loud say about making a program to check the... I don't think I did. If I did, I've forgotten whether I out loud said it or just said it in a conversation in my head. I feel like I'm talking, but sometimes I don't actually open my mouth to do it. Yeah, I want to make a program to check if I've done all of the what's-its. So the first thing the program needs to do is strip out any lines that say daily or weekly. Then needs to strip out, then needs to either go through a file that has all of the items in it and line by line compare if each one exists, or it's probably quicker to sort alphabetically and check the whole thing instead of going for each in this, check and then return. It's probably easier to, yeah, because it's going to have to check every line in the thing against every line in the, yeah. That's going to take a while. It's going to be easier to make it formatted the same and check the whole thing against the whole thing. Just run a checksum on it, like a really easy checksum. It's the fucking really easy one that's like you can see it and you can practically crack it by hand with a scientific calculator. Just run that one. MD5 is it? That's like, yeah, your file's probably safe. Use this for not important things like video game saves and stuff like that. Stuff where causing a collision isn't going to do much. Do not use for secure cryptography. SHA-1 or something. Well, to be fair, whatever I can get Python to do fairly quickly, because it's probably going to take a long time to do the rest of it. Because I was going to say I might do it in Rust, but no, I've already decided it's going to be hacky. It's going to take ages to run. Doing it in Rust might make it slightly faster, but writing it in a non-dog shit way would make it 10 times faster within Python itself. What's the point in, you know, optimizing the small stuff when you're not going to optimize the major problems, which is that I'm going to be looking at a massive file, probably line by line in a for statement at some point. In fact, I am. For each line in line, make me a... add that line to an array. Unless I could... But that is an array, isn't it? Yeah, for each line in line, give me an array that is that sorted alphabetically. And... once you've done that, spit it out to a file. SHA1 that file, compare against, I'll have a file that I've made and guaranteed manually has all the things in it. It's got car information, so I'm going to have to strip the car information as well. And the time information. It's got, yeah, it's got car and time information. maybe comparing each line against each line is the correct way to do it. Oh, fuck. Hey, Wacky. I'm considering programming things. Oh, actually, I could sort them both alphabetically. Or whatever. And then test them against each other. And then I could, like, chunk off the back. Because I need a way to know if I've done all of the tracks in this game. So I need to manually make all of the tracks in the game as the leaderboards.txt would have them, and then programmatically compare the two. Oh, but preferably I'd want a way to spit out a total time as well. That would be really cool. So the first thing I've got to do, which is quite easy, is delete anything that says weekly or daily, and hope that they don't add a country called weekly or daily. The other option is I go to a friend of mine who currently has no job and be like, send you 20 quid. A spreadsheet could work. Yeah. And then you just... It depends if the data that is in the Art of Rally automatic leaderboards.txt file is spreadsheetable. If that data will just dump itself into a spreadsheet and be cells, then it'll work. But if it doesn't format itself properly by cells, it could be a problem. Because basically what you get is I think a country, then the year, and then a track number or something. And then whether it's the wet or dry leaderboard is in there somewhere. And truck. I don't want to open the file while I'm playing. There's a lot to it. And it's really cool. But... and make it... oh yeah, and the reason I'm not going to make a spreadsheet, if you mean like make a spreadsheet and just update it with each track I've done, in theory I should have done every track because I'm methodically going through them from the cars at the back. I'm going through the countries methodically, you know, but there may be a track I've missed accidentally at some point, you know, accidentally double tapped left. In 1920, if I don't do that once, it would be a miracle. Unfortunately, leaderboards.txt doesn't show whether it's, like, it will show up whether it's a local time or an online time. I'm just kind of hoping I spot any times where the game fails to upload my time to the internet. I've got spreadsheets from ages ago when I used to duel, where I used to put in fucking win rate and stuff like that. Jesus wept. Hold on a minute, I can't start the next match. I've got to take a screenshot of everything I've just played and enter it into my... Oh, it didn't work. I'll have to go check the demo recording in fucking 1 minute. I've just got to boot up the demo to get the stats for me match. Yeah. Yeah, nah. Yeah, to be fair, the biggest problem is I can't manually write out every single one of these countries and tracks and everything. I can't manually do that because that's 1920 to write out. So I've basically got to do it all. The thing is, I'm going to have to... This is going to be a project probably after I've finished doing the thing. I've got to do it all Then go through it. It will be obvious if I order it alphabetically or whatever. It will be however I order it. It will be obvious if I've missed any, because they should be chunked in, depending on how I order it. Say I order it in the same way I'm doing them, they should be chunked into 12s of country. So I did six dry. 12 dry, 12 wet, 12 dry, 12 wet of each country. Then on, you know, all the countries onto the next one. Oh, you can only have 8 days, 8 demos. Fucking hell. I suppose that's why you were filling it in. I did, because yeah, otherwise you'd just use the in-game thing. Oh, right. All the other demos are actual demo files then, rather than shown up in-game in the history track or whatever. Is there not a website like there used to be? I can't remember what it was. CS stats type website. Or are they only able to access the same as yours? Or can't access Faceit or whatever, stuff like that. I actually only installed CS2. Did I only install CS2? Pretty sure I only installed CS2. It was getting on my nerves needing fucking 4 gig updates every day. And I don't think I'm ever going to play it. You know, even though I said, oh, after XDWC I'm going to go play and get a rank and everything. Australia coming out in this kind of broke that idea. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to do this idea instead. At least you can fast forward easier in the CS2. Yeah, look, like, I kind of thought about it. Am I going to play B-Hop or Surf in CS2? No. I own CSS. The only reason to play CS2 for B-Hop and Surf is because you don't own CSS. I also have access to the Momentum mod playtest. Out of those two things, I have all of the maps, none of them are buggy, they all work perfectly, and 100 tick rate. I have no reason whatsoever to play CS2. And if I really want to play a competitive game like that, I'm so much more likely to boot up TF2. Even though I won't get like a proper competitive game, but you know. Oh yeah, yeah, that was it. Yeah, I remember the stats sites like that. You have the most kills with the AK. Yeah, no shit. Actually, I think mine used to be the M4. You used to have more kills with the M4. Bit better at defense. Either that or either that or I was playing Nuke a lot, while Nuke was overpoweredly C-sided. One of the two. Also installed Dota. I think. Hope I did. If I didn't, I should. Now I've probably missed loads of shots with the Zeus. I pick up the Zeus when I'm playing deathmatch in CS. Just for shits and giggles. If I just keep getting stomped, I'll just run around with the Zeus, see if I can get anyone. So I've missed tons of shots with the Zeus. 75% Pog. Nice, dude. Yeah. Yeah, none of the sites can actually access much more than you can. Usually. It's just they might be slightly prettier than you have access to. Or poll certain things you can poll an API for a little bit more data than you can actually see. Or they have the ability to, you know, while they're polling the API for the same stuff you can see, are you going to go through, add up all of your games and take the average match time? No, but they might be able to, if every game is listed or whatever. Like, I bet you could do that with Xenotic stats. I bet you could, like, you're not going to go manually through every single game and do that. Actually, it'd be pretty easy to, because it tells you the amount of time you've played for on the main website. And then you just divide that by number of games played. But if you want to, it'd be a bit more of a pain in the ass if you wanted to, say, exclude defrag. As you probably do. You'd have to then add up everything that isn't defrag. Or just remove defrag, I suppose that'd be easier. Instead of adding everything else, just take time minus defrag. Is Art of Rally on sale at the minute? I think I heard someone say that it was. Either that or I missed it. Can't believe I missed fucking getting driftwood. Although to be fair, it has had a few worse reviews on Proton. But the thing is, it works on Mac, and I assume they'll want to get it Steam Deck verified, because that is the sort of game that you want on Steam Deck. Sort of game, it's not competitive, it's controller focused. You can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the game. Yeah. How many views have you got on your profile? Yeah, it's just me. It's like at school, we all added website view counters to our websites at school. Our fucking Weebly websites. And then we were all just refreshing each other's pages, going, "Oh, you've got an extra view!" Oh, Aiden, mate, you've got 3 extra views, mate. It's all fucking us refreshing each other's websites to see how many. I've checked mine. How many views has George got? Probably half the views on this Twitch page are me. Actually, I'm pretty sure at one point half the views on my Twitch page were me. Back when dashboard didn't exist, and you'd literally just go onto your home page and press edit to edit the title and stuff. And when well, to be fair, before I used the chatbot I currently use, I would go onto my page, open up my stream page to pop out the chat, or to have a preview or anything like that. I'd need to pop out, go onto my main page. But yeah, there was probably, oh, fucking hell, I did that in the dry as well. Oh, so if you're just AFK on it, like if you just left it in a second tab while you went and played another game, it'd just be adding extra views. God damn it. I'd hate to see how many times I've logged on to my own Zon Stats profile, because I check it regularly. Like, I don't know why. It's as if something's going to have happened that I haven't noticed. Like, oh, apparently I played 5 games last night when I wasn't. I think I'd know. If I was playing Xenotic and it wasn't me accessing my own account, someone would tell me, I think. Yeah. Yeah, you used to have to do a plugin for it. I still don't do that because it just makes OBS really difficult to use. And because I use Firebot, which is a fantastic chatbot for everything else, to do all the commands and stuff, so I've got to have that program open to be able to do the chatbot. So it might as well, yeah. That is the only problem with Firebot, is the fact that it doesn't run permanently. But considering Nightbot, I don't think it does while you're offline anymore, unless you're premium. Although I think actually, Mackie, see if you can type !commands and then go to that link. And I think that link is not like a local, yeah. That's a firebot.app link. I bet that works while I'm offline and it just caches the last time it was updated. You know, every time I change something or whatever, it'll update it. So I suppose, but at the same time, actually, you're not going to be able to get the !commands link. But maybe I could get another bot to give the !commands link. Can you imagine? Set up MooBot or something. Only do this command while offline, and it links to links to that bot's command app. Because yeah, my bot wouldn't respond if I was off. Well, wouldn't matter if I was offline. It would be if I. Yeah, but at the same time, no fucker is coming into my channel while I'm offline. Hardly any fuckers come into my channel while I'm online. You know, I'm not a pro gamer. Because like the only use case I can see for that is you're a pro gamer and you know that people are going to come in wanting to know your sensitivity, your resolution, your whatever, even though it doesn't matter, which I can't remember which pro player I was watching when CS2 just released, but I think I got passed around from random raids having watched Flom or someone. They had exclamation mark sensitivity set up to find your own sensitivity, you're not going to be as good as me just because you stole my sensitivity. Which, yeah, true. Oh, there's some ancient commands. Even in Firebot, there's some ancient commands on here. I've been using Firebot for a while now, I think. Oh yeah, it's interesting to know people's settings. And so, to be fair, the main reason I look at it is when I've thought something about someone's playstyle. There's two reasons. The first reason I'll look at someone's settings is if they've got stretched resolution. I'll scroll down to the thing to see if they're actually playing stretched or playing black bars. And the second one is if I'm if I see someone make some weird sort of flicky movements, I'll go see if they've got mouse acceleration or some sort of other... Are they high sends? Are they low sends? That sort of thing. I saw a YouTube short about fucking Quake players and putting their keyboards on their laps the other day. I was like, you call it the Quake thing, but that's only because all the CS players who used to do it have stopped doing it. And in Quake we call it the Russian style. But no one wants to call it the Russian style in modern Quake, because only Rafa does it. It used to be all the Russians. And the Finns. If you want to know my settings, I don't know them. They exist. I'm sure I have settings. Ah, shit. Don't know why you'd want them after that display, though. Controller. Broken. New one. On the way. Mouse sensitivity. Doesn't matter, I'm playing Art of Rally. Oh yeah, twisting your keyboard to the side. I mean, there's some pretty ridiculous twists, admittedly, that then force your hand to move, but your hand doesn't sit straight. Your hand doesn't sit perfectly straight. It's something that I have arguments with people about bikes all the time. Your hands don't naturally sit perfectly straight out in front of you. Why don't your handlebars curve? Not as much as a road bike with drop bars where they're now 90 degrees the other way, but you know, somewhere in the middle. Because that, my god, a pair of swept back 45 degree-ish bars with a bit of upsweep. Whoo, nicest bars I've ever felt. Nicest riding position. I mean, yes, it's the bloody most comfortable bike I've ever ridden in my life. It's a 1987 Postman's bike. The damn thing was made to be indestructible and comfortable. But, you know. Yeah. Well, one of the reasons that Quake players that they didn't touch on with Quake players playing with their keyboards on their laps, it's the fact that in the early days of Quake, and the same thing with Counter-Strike, and actually I think more with Counter-Strike than Quake to some extent, you'd play with your keyboard in your lap because you weren't given much more space on the desk than the screen. You know, you had monitor and screen and space in front of it, and you were shoulder to shoulder with the next bloke at LANs and stuff. So a lot of players got used to just, well, I've only got space. If I want to play low sensitivity, then I don't have enough space to have a keyboard on my desk. Where's the keyboard going? Drop it into your lap. How am I going to practice that? Do it at home. Or quite a lot of people playing at home with only a small amount of space for anything on the desk. It makes sense. The other reason given is that if you can get your full arm onto the desk, play with your arm on the desk, you can have a very like left to right, rather than kind of swinging around like a pendulum and going up and down a bit. You can be perfectly horizontal, which makes sense, especially for Quake, leaving you in the same vertical plane as you need to be, and then you can change your vertical plane easily. Ah, piss. I love how I've crashed into quite a lot of the same things in this as I did in the dry. Oh, it'd be quite funny to come in here and see how far you could push one of those umbrellas. Like, kick it like a football, play Rocket League with it all the way to the finish. What's the longest distance between first umbrella on the track and finish? And see if you could do it. That would be pretty fun. New speedrun category. Yeah. Don't lose the brolly. Here's the track. Actually, it's probably the longest track in Indonesia. Because I believe that there's... For one, it's 3 kilometers longer than the next one. There's got to be a brolly in the first 3k. But also, one of those 2 longest stages, 10-kilometer stages, I think has either the forward or reverse, whichever one it is. One of the ways you start on the beach, and there's brollies on the beach. And what car would be best? Do you think the Dakar would be best because it's big boxy square front? Answers in the comments below if you've got this far in the video. I did that faster, but I think I didn't take any breaks this time. I think I did tabbing out a bit. Let's just double check I did get everything. Hey Nap, there. Yeah, we got everything. Yeah, I think Mount Kauai's got what sits we could do. Cool. Cheers.